For the TNT, the pin is right over the ring finger, using a grit of 2500, and the layout is using the Storm, a system of 40 by 4 by 4. The Supernova from Storm is pin up drilling, using a grit of 1000 dry sand, along with the Storm layout of 40 by 4 by 4. Looking at the RPM versus speed, just under 17 miles an hour with about 377 revs on average versus all 10 shots that were calculated. My shots is a little bit more on the rev dominated zone than I thought it was going to be, but I am definitely not in the realm of obviously the pros, but more in the rev dominated than I originally thought, which was very interesting in my analysis here. But just kind of taking a look here, Supernova had a little bit lower rev rate by about 5, which is probably still within the noise because that's only 5 shots each. But my speed was about 0.8 miles an hour harder. That is definitely due to the pin placement and the shot selection I was doing. Staying a little bit more in the limited oil that was on these lanes. These lanes were fairly burnt when we got on them. While the TNT, a little bit more rev rate, just by 5, once again probably well within the noise, but the speed was lower at 0.8. That's definitely due to the shape. It's a cleaner break. It's a little earlier of a reaction, therefore that's what we would expect. To calculate the velocity of the ball, we are go down the entire lane, so we're going to assume 60 feet traveled. So we will count the frames from when the ball crosses the line until the ball hits, or we assume would have hit the headpin. Now with that, we know how many frames has gone by. In order to calculate the seconds, it's frames divided by 30, which is using 30 frames per second. Using my software, I use Vegas 18 Pro. And to calculate feet per second, it's just 60 times 30, 1,800 divided by your frames. And then that is in feet per second. And then to get to MPH, you just multiply by 0.6818. 18 is the conversion, and that is how we got the miles per second. Calculating RPM, this is basically so once the ball crosses the line until it hits the headpin, just like what we did for velocity. Counting how many rotations, and I'm only counting full rotations. I'm not trying to get for this one tenths of a rotation. Then I'm going to be multiplying that by 60 because I'm trying to get into minutes here because the rotations are going to be just part of it. And how many seconds that's counting is going to be the same as velocity, where we're going to do frames divided by 30. And since it's rotations per minute, the RPM is going to be instead rotations times 1,800 divided by frames of basically how many frames you count. Once again, I'm using Vegas Pro 18, so that's how you calculate RPM.